If you were allowed to do that.
That's what you do, you appoint the guy who's not here.
Yeah, okay.
He said he'd do it.
That's typical.
Is that, are we okay with that?
You're okay, you're definitely okay.
I say we just tell Paul.
He's not here, I nominate Josh.
All right, well,
right,
call the meeting to order first.
Welcome everybody. I'm going to call the meeting to order for the Planning Commission
That's good.
for January 20th, 2026.
And you're being good shape.
And I would like to welcome everybody to rise to pledge the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start with the selection of officers for the 2026 year. And since our chairperson is not here, I will be the temporary chair, I guess. And I would like to appoint a chair, so in theory.
Is there a nomination for a chair?
He said he'd do it. I talked to him on the phone.
Okay. So
So I
we'll,
nominate Josh.
and I'll second that.
Second.
And in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So we have Josh Yupa as the chairperson. And any nominations for the vice chairperson?
Did you still want to do it, or?
Well, I've been kind of advised to maybe step down from the planning commission.
Okay.
I know in the past we've had people that were on the planning commission and the board of supervisors.
I don't believe there's any issue with you being on this capacity. Personally, I think it's sort of duplicative. Here, this body is here to recommend
Right.
you in your capacity as a supervisor. But I don't necessarily think there's any rule against you sitting here. But it's something to contemplate if you want,
Well, I would not want to be the vice chairperson. I would maybe sit on the board
Okay.
until we might find somebody else.
You or me.
I will remain as it is for now.
You don't have too many other choices. You want to do it, or should I?
Well, if you want it. Okay.
I don't care. You want to do it, do it.
Okay.
I nominate Eric.
Right, I'll second that nomination. That's all right with Eric. And all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So we got Eric Sills as our vice chairperson. That brings us to the approval of the meeting minutes. And there was a little snafu on this because apparently our meeting minutes were from our previous secretary who did not submit them to the board. So at this point, we're going to have to table that. We have no minutes to approve for December 16th at this time. Announcements? I don't think we have anything to announce. I would like to welcome Jeremy Hoagland. He is our new engineer from Boyer Engineering from the Crossroads Group. That's the gentleman in the plaid.
Thank you.
And then also our solicitor is from the zoning hearing board, and that is Christopher Modi. So he has joined us with Planning Commission and the Board of Supervisors. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So public comments. Is there anything on the public comment paper, Jenny? Anybody sign
No.
in? So we'll move on. Engineers report.
There's a couple topics that we'll discuss. It's on the old business section, so
Okay.
for now, if it's all right, I'll wait until we get to those projects.
All right. Subdivision land development items.
That's me.
Anything that anybody's aware of to add to that? So we'll pass through there. Now we're back to old business and starting with the Ideal Storage was the South Schuylkill Property Group. Anything on that we need to add today?
So I do have an update, and we discussed this with the board last week. Our office did have a call with the applicant's attorney and the applicant's engineer. We discussed some of the issues out on the site regarding stockpiling. We were told by the attorney, the applicant's attorney, that has all been remedied now. We've solved that in our stockpiling topsoil in an approved location. They also discussed the erosion and the dirt coming off the road,
Right.
and that they have a street sweeper coming after every truckload comes in or leaves the site. They'll come back and sweep the road with a real street sweeper. I did drive past there. I did see the street sweeper there. Got a lot of snow since the last meeting,
Yeah.
so there hasn't been too much other opportunity, but I did see it there
Okay.
after they discussed that. So.
Good news. So that's that's the extent of the ideal storage situation for
Yes.
now. Blue Heron Village, anybody need to speak on that today?
I have one small update too. I did talk to the applicant's engineer, a consultant is here. I did discuss with them just a little bit about the project. They provided, both the solicitor and I, some additional documentation. I'm just going to review that and get back to them. I do need to review, and I haven't had a chance to review all the project file on that, so I'm going through that, and I apologize to the applicant. It's just taken a little time to get through everything, but I'll get through that. I'll be in touch with him shortly.
That's fair, very good. And the last thing on the old business list is the Raywell Apartments.
Yes, so on this project, we did go through and review that. I did get a review letter out today. I did discuss the project with the consultant as well. If he wants to discuss any of the topics in the review, if you're more than welcome to. And then I can hit on something if it's not brought up.
Okay. Good evening, Rob Haney, Berks Surveying and Engineering. Last month when we were here, we reviewed this, and the feedback from the planners was mostly regarding the proposed parking layout. And I guess we'll just flip to that page right away.
Okay, so I got spawns over here too.
So previously, the parking layout, was parallel, like on-street parking, basically off the edge of Woodland Road. Based on comments and discussions from last meeting, we pushed the parking up closer to the building and left an access lane parallel to Woodland Road, so cars can pull off the road here before pulling into the parallel parking spaces in front of the building. And we put the handicap down at the end, so that way the landing zone will be here and they can get right to the concrete walkway in front of the building for access there too. In regards to just speaking about parking, one of the comments from your new engineering consultant was specifically regarding these pull-in spaces here in the handicap space. And the concern that they have is whether or not these, when they back out of this space, if they're going to encroach into the travel lane of Woodland Road. So we'll take a look at that. I think we might be able to get away with just, because we have the additional space here, this is already like 13.5 feet, and these spaces are already deeper than the required 18 or 20 feet of what's required for a vehicle to park in. I think we should have enough space that they could back in here without getting out onto Woodland Road.
How many spaces are along
So we have, I think we have 11 spaces altogether, plus the handicap space. So we have 9 spaces parallel here, and then we have these 3 spaces on the end.
Okay.
So we actually added 1 additional space to what we had previously. We had 10 plus the handicap on the previous layout, but since we rotated these spaces to be pulled in, there was enough area there to add another one without encroaching too much into the steep slopes over here.
There's still not a problem with backing out and pulling in with this curve in the road with the line of sight on that?
So that was a comment that we had just to make sure, and I already talked to Rob about this. We want to make sure there is no safety concerns with that ADA space. We'll work with him to make sure that everything is adequate, either through turning templates to prove it out or a little reconfiguration if necessary.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, if we rotate these spaces slightly counterclockwise, it would ease the function of backing out without the back end of your vehicle going into the travel lanes of Woodland Road.
So what are you looking at for today then?
So, I mean, we can go over these. So essentially, the planning commission previously recommended the waivers. So if If the planning commission is in agreement tonight, we'd be asking for a recommendation of conditional plan approval based on the changes that have been submitted. There's a few items from your engineer's review letter that I would like to touch base on just to make sure that everybody's okay, we're on the same page. Before I jump in, is there any comments or questions from you guys that you want to discuss first?
Why don't you hit your topics?
Okay. So the one question, comment number 9 under saldo was regarding the water supply. And you're asking for flow data from the existing well. I'm not entirely sure what type of flow data you're looking to see. Like, do you need a pump test, or is it just that, again, like right now the existing well has been servicing 5 units in this apartment building for years without any issues or concerns, so.
Yes, that was a comment in the prior review too,
Right.
and just going through and seeing, make sure we have domestic service, which I talked about. And I think, I don't know if you have flow tests on the well at all, if they ever had that done.
That's been existing for quite some time, so I don't know specifically if there has been any recent well tests on that.
That is one concern.
Okay.
And I think, well, I know I would like to see that, just see what kind of flow we have. The other concern could be bigger, but you and I discussed is there a fire demand requirement? And that's for building code.
Right.
I just made a comment about it. Is there a fire demand for this? Do we need to be cognizant of that? And if so, what is that? And can it accommodate fire flow? So that is, I did talk to Ryan Westner a little bit. So that's, building code is not something that I want to do anything other than comment on here.
Okay. The last comment, or on the last page, comment number 4, the general comments, was Township to discuss the acceptance of ultimate right-of-way along the southern side of Woodland Road across the property frontage. And I guess I just want to see if the planners have a preference. I believe when we talked about this previously, there wasn't a desire to formally accept the ultimate right-of-way, but they did want it offered, and did want monuments on that right-of-way to show that where the limits of it are. And I don't know if you guys remember it differently, or if you have any specific thoughts on that ultimate right-of-way at this time.
And these two comments are really for the planning commission as much as anything, because I did see just how he had described. Monumentation was provided at the request of the prior engineer on the south side, but there wasn't discussion of right-of-way dedication or exactly what the intent was there. So I guess just to bring me up to speed, what's the planning commission's wishes?
So what is meant by that more, break that down just a little bit?
The ultimate right-of-way?
Yes.
So the legal right-of-way for Woodland, I believe, is 33 feet.
Right.
Ultimate right-of-way is within the ordinance, and I believe it is required to be
25 off center.
50-foot total, 25 off center to be offered if you want it. There's a little bit of, typically that goes hand in hand with improvements or planning for future improvements, that you attain a little wider right-of-way. This comment is 4A. And 4B kind of go hand in hand, because the prior discussion, I believe, with the applicant on the improvements that they're installing is that they're going to be maintained privately and won't be.
They won't be township.
Correct, but they are within the legal right-of-way. Certainly, if you decide to take additional right-of-way width, a small portion of it, I believe, is within the current legal right-of-way. So I wanted to make sure I understood fully what the planning commission's intent was there.
You have anything you want to add to that?
No, I mean, I think, the parking lot is there now. It's in the same position as it currently, we're proposing in the same position where it currently is. You can't get to the front of the building without going through that portion of the existing right-of-way. It comes down to a question of whether or not the township wants to take formal dedication of that section of the right-of-way. So then, like right now, the township's existing right-of-way is 16.5 feet off the center. This ultimate right-of-way that's being offered for dedication. And Chris can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the offer is good that the township can take it anytime in the next 21 years.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
So if the township wants to run a new sewer line or something else that they would need that additional right of way for, if there's something you have a need or a desire for it now, you can formally take it now, or you can take it,
Or we can condemn it.
or you can condemn it and take it later, right? Or at this point, with the recording of this plan with the offer, you can take it at any point in the next 21 years legally without condemnation if need be. So as Jeremy was alluding to, like if you have specific plans, if there was going to be, new curb and sidewalk or road widening or something like that, that was going to be put in across the frontage of the property, that's usually when the township would take formal dedication, so that way you wouldn't have that additional right of way.
So it's also been already recommended that so we're just looking to reaffirm what's already been recommended, is that?
Yeah, I think as your engineer and solicitor were not here for the previous discussions on this, they
Right.
just want to confirm that
Right.
we're all on the
Well,
same page.
That's fair, right?
That's the intent, is just to make sure,
The understanding's there.
right, that my understanding is there.
Okay.
What we're typically used to seeing on both sides of the table is offering and accepting dedication, or at least having it memorialized on the plan for 21 years, as you
Okay.
said. And it's up to the township what they want to do.
So, yeah, we'll keep it as it's been reaffirmed.
I think if there's a 21-year window,
It's longer than that. I mean, look, if the township needed it for any project, whether running a sewer line, putting in some curb and sidewalk, it's a public improvement. In theory, the township can condemn it for public improvement at any time. Now, we would probably seek to avoid doing that, but you always have that option for a public improvement. So you're looking here tonight for a recommendation and a vote from this body just to reaffirm the vote that was taken last month?
No, there was no vote taken to conditionally approve this plan last
Okay.
month.
There
It was
was,
tabled, the plan was tabled due to the questions on the layout of the parking. So
okay,
we've updated the parking, assuming those issues have been addressed. We're looking for the planners to vote
so
to,
are you comfortable with the layout of the parking?
I'm comfortable that the applicant's consultant said he'll work that out with us to make sure that it is adequate. The current layout,
All right,
I'm not comfortable with the current layout quite yet. We need a little more information on how it is now to either affirm that it's good or change the configuration, but Rob and I had already talked about that. And assuming any approval would be conditioned on the comments of the letter.
yeah, so you're asking for a recommendation for conditional approval, conditioned on compliance with the review letters.
correct.
Okay.
And that's, okay, we can kind of retroactive kind of stuff like that? That's,
Mhm.
so I'd like to entertain a motion to do what Christopher just reworded for us, to accept this as it's written, assuming every condition that Jeremy would like put into place would be met. Is that fair?
Yeah, conditional approval, a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors for conditional approval, conditioned on compliance with the engineer's review letter.
Do I have a?
so moved.
I have a
Second.
And, all.
All in favor?
All in favor, thank you, aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Russ? Okay, bye.
Do we have any new business to discuss tonight? Anything new? Anything? planning commission concerns. I have a planning commission concern. It seems like we have a fifth member by the name of Orrin Moyer, who, as far as I know, has never even been sworn in. And it looks like his 4-year term expires June of 2027. So he's been around here for a while, but I've never seen him, nor do I know him.
And the other guy, who's the other?
Kyle Huntsberger actually was reappointed as a alternate at the Board of Supervisors meeting last week. So they need to be reappointed as an alternate every year. He hasn't attended either, but I guess we need to call him in.
I get, yeah.
Which kind of would have been handy to know tonight, but
Yeah.
we're still okay. So that's just a concern, and I don't know, do either of you know Orrin Moyer?
I heard the name, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Okay. So maybe we could reach out to him and see if he wants to attend the meetings and see if we can get his contact information at some point, maybe. That's it. Any public comment? And that would bring us to adjournment, assuming nobody has anything else to say. Would anybody like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:25?
So moved.
Second?
And all in agreement?
Aye.